Greetings mod lovers across the universe, DW here, along with no one else, because this is Mod Explaining. In the last video I explained about arrays. In this video, well, actually before we actually end up getting onto all of that, if you remember from my last video, and also if you didn't watch my last video of Mod Explaining, you might want to go check it out. In the last video I ended up saying to everyone that usually, when I end up making these videos, before I end up watching someone to find out all this information, find out all the codes for all the programs, all this different types of stuff. Apparently the person I was watching to find out this information has actually kind of given up on doing them. Now, in the last video I ended up saying that means I might end up being moving on to a different mod, or I might try and find another person to watch. Well, for those that wanted me to move on to another mod, I'm sorry. For those that did not, good news. I actually managed to find someone who ends up explaining a bit about computercraft. Now, like I said before I move any further, I need to say a couple things. Firstly, this new guy I'm watching, I ended up watching his video. Most of the stuff he's explaining is mainly just about stuff I've explained in the past, but there are actually some things that he's actually shown in his video that I have actually never shown you guys before. So that's what I plan on showing you today. But without further ado, let's crack on, shall we? Yes. Now, firstly, as usual, I'm going to go on to the computer. Now, before I actually go on, you may notice there's actually a turtle over here. You're probably wondering, why is the turtle over here? Why isn't it over with these turtles? Well, you're going to find out in a minute or two. Firstly, the first program, the guy I ended up show me, is a way to actually make folders. Now you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. If I end up doing dir, it ends up coming up with ROM and DW. This ROM is actually a folder. The DW, I believe, is a program I've actually made in the past. But we'll just ignore that. Actually, I've actually found out a way from this guy to actually make folders like ROM. Now you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. If I end up doing mk dir, and then I am coming up with a name, how about DW13? And now if I click this, as you can see, nothing happened. You think nothing happened. Wrong. If I end up typing dir again, ends up coming up with DW13, ROM, and the program down here. I think noticeably on this line it's just the folders. On this line I think it's just the programs we end up making. But anyway, where was I? If you've noticed, if you remember from the past, you can actually end up going into folders by doing CD and then ROM, and albeit the name of the folder. And now I'm actually in the ROM folder. Also, if you want to get out, just do CD dot, and now I'm out. Now if we end up going into let's see, CD DW13, now we're right now in the DW13 folder. If I do dir, a way of finding folders, nothing's in here. That's because it's literally just a folder that we've just made. So basically, the main reason I'm showing you this is that with the ROM folder, it kind of holds all the programs and all the code that in the main computer. If you end up making loads and loads and loads and loads of programs, you can end up putting it in here. Now, yeah, that's basically just a way so you could end up just making your own folders and putting different types of programs in there, so to speak. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Now I've ended up mentioning that, the ROM folder is kind of like the main folder. Now, I think you all know what that means. I think we ended up going into the ROM folder in the past. Now if I'm going into the ROM folder, that way I'm in the ROM folder, if I do this, it ends up coming up with loads of different types of you would think, programs. Wrong. These aren't actually programs, they're folders. So if I end up typing CD and one of these down, it'll end up going in there. I'm going to go into the, let's see, CD programs folder, and, oh, did I type programs wrong? Oh, yes, I did. Program. Okay. How did I mess up this bad? Alright, there we go. So now you can see, not only are we in the ROMs folder, we're right now in the programs folder. You're probably wondering, what is the programs folder for? Well, I'm just going to call it a folder. This folder is mainly where it ends up storing all the main programs that you would find in a computer. So if I end up doing dir, what? Alright, why did it take so long for... Okay. There we go. It ends up coming up with all the main programs you'd end up using inside a computer, which is brilliant. So these are all the... This is literally, as you can see here, these are all the main programs you'd end up using inside a computer. Now that's all good and fun, but I'm actually going to show you... Hold on. I'm actually going to show you... Now, obviously with a folder, there's a folder within inside a folder within inside a folder. That means there's always going to be more folders. I'm actually going to go into... Whoops. I'm actually going to go into another folder, and this is going to blow your minds, called Turtles. Turtle. CD Turtle. So if I end up pressing this, we're right now in the ROMs folder, the program, then into the programs folder, then into the Turtles folder. And you're probably thinking, but DW, this is a computer. This isn't a turtle. The turtles are the robots. The robots over here. Why is there a folder that says turtle? Well, hold on. Well, actually, that'll be explained later on. But as you can see here, all the main programs you'd end up using within the turtle are actually also here. Also, before we end up going any further, I'm actually going to prove a point. Now, if I end up doing CD, then ROM, going into here, CD, then programs. I'm forgetting how to spell programs now. Great, brain. Great work, brain. Whatever you're doing up there, just stop. Now, CD, turtle. Now, hold on. CD. Whoops. I accidentally did something wrong there, sorry. I meant to press dir. I think my mind's kind of... Now, as you can see here, it ends up coming up with the same amount of programs which are in that folder, which are in this folder. Also, this is the main reason I had this turtle here, so it was easy to reach. The main reason I'm showing this is because, in a way, the only big difference between the computer and the turtle is that one of them moves, one of them doesn't. Both of them still technically... How do I put this? This one technically still does the typey worky outy, and this one basically just moves around but does exactly the same thing as this. It's kind of like, anyway, you get the picture. Now hold on, CD ... CD ... I just want to get out of these folders because I just remembered something. Whoops. Alright. Now if I end up doing... No. ROM, and then... there we go. Now it ends up coming up with all of these. I like to point out something. Now, if it isn't obvious, CD ... is how you end up getting out of a folder. But not all folders. If I end up going into CD help... if I end up doing CD... ... What the... Oh, wrong button. It ends up coming up with this, meaning that not all of the folders actually work the same way. I don't actually know how to get out of this folder, but that doesn't matter because we're now no longer actually going to be using this. What the hell's wrong with me today? We're no longer going to be using this turtle. We're actually going to be moving on to this turtle over here, which I'm more used to, well, moving around, so to speak. Or using, at least. Now, as usual, I'm going to say the usual thing I usually say. All of these turtles here are just for display. I'm not going to use all of them. Dirty. There is seriously something wrong with me today. Actually, I just remembered something. Sorry, I just remembered that there is actually one bit of... code left, or better yet, program left that I actually haven't introduced. Now, hold on. As you can see, where is it? I'm blind. There we go. The edit. Now, as I've shown you in the past, this program is mainly just about making programs. Wrong. It also actually does something else. Now, if I end up typing edit dance, it's a program that usually we use in order to move around the turtle over here. If I end up doing this, and I press it down, we're actually right now in the dance program. You can see all the different types of code. Now, if you've actually watched, again, most of my videos, you'll mostly recognize most of this. But some of this I'm actually do not know what the heck it is. Seriously, some of this is way new to me. But yeah, if you actually wanted to ever know how a program actually worked or what kind of code it had in it, you can just do that. Also, before I actually do anything else, you notice that if I end up pressing Control, it ends up coming with exit and print, not save. That's because if I try and get rid of anything, I'm right now pressing the backspace button, you can't actually mess around with this program. Whoever designed this actually made it so you can't actually change anything with it, which I say is kind of good, because if you did actually mess around with it, that would cause major problems. Okay, and now we're actually going to move on to the turtle. Now, I'm actually going to go to here, and actually going to do, again, if you're new to my channel, you won't know this. For those that are not new to my channel, you will know this. I'll go to Lua. Now, Lua is kind of like I wouldn't call it a folder. Actually, I would call it a folder. It's kind of like a place where you can actually test out code. Mainly, turtle code. That sounded like some kind of action song. Turtle code. Anyway. Now, hold on. I'm mainly just going to show you some code I have not shown you in the past. Most of the code involving turtle I think I have shown. But I'm going to show you turtle.turn, in capitals by the way, right. As you notice, it ended up saying true. Now it's ended up turning this way. What you're looking at? I think I see some flowers over there. Oh, they're lovely. Actually, you can't see anything. You're just looking at this guy's axe. I feel sorry for you. You don't get to see this beautiful view. Anyway, also we've also got turn left. Also, now that I'm actually starting this, you're all probably thinking to yourself, why are you showing us this? Most of us probably already know this. Yet now he's showing this way. Well, it's because in the past I haven't actually showed you these ones, although most likely most of you should know about these. I'm mainly just showing this for the people that kind of need to see it to believe it. I kind of know a couple people like that don't actually believe something unless they see it with their own eyes. But anyway, I'm actually going to use... yes. I always have to check how I type things, because sometimes I feel like I'm going to type it wrong. I'm going to use turtle.refuel. Now, hold on. In the past, I'm actually going to put a couple bits of fuel here. Four will be enough. In the past, I have actually shown this. Now, for those that are new to my channel, blah, blah, blah. If I end up typing this down, it gets all the fuel within, well, there, and just puts it in there. Now, I've shown you in this past, so you're probably thinking, DW, why are you showing this again? Well, it's because I've actually learnt a way that you can tell it to not take it all. So if I end up just putting 4 again, yeah, and I end up typing this, and notice it has a 1, it only took 1 bit of coal. That's because I technically told it to. I said 1, it only took 1 bit of coal. So that's kind of a cool little trick I just wanted to show. Now, turtle. Also, remember that code in the future, because this is actually going to be important later on. Now, turtle.up. Again, most of you should know about this, because I've already technically shown this. Well, I've shown turtle.down in my other videos, but I've actually never shown turtle.up. But I feel like, once again, for those that actually need to see it to believe it, I'm showing it for them. Down. Now, by the way, just so we're clear, the only reason I typed down, not because I wanted to show it, is because I wanted the turtle to move down. I want to jump on his head. Anyway. But, yeah, that's mainly all the turtle code I have to show you. Now, here's actually something I am happy to show. If I've shown you anything about the print command, mainly it's just a command that prints out words. You mainly just use it when you're making programs. But with the Lua, it's mainly just where you end up getting to test code, meaning that this actually should work. For those that only thought you could only do print in programs itself, think again. As you can see, it said yo, like I told it to. I don't know why it ended up putting 1 here. I have a theory, although that was shot down, that it only ends up saying that because we only printed out once. I tried to print out 2 words, it just said 1 again, so I don't actually know the reason why it does that. If anyone can figure out why it does that, make sure to tell me. But anyway, hold on. Alright. So basically, that is the main majority of the code. Now I'm actually going to show... What? Oh. May I just mention this, and for those that are not YouTubers, that just want to watch YouTubers, it is hell sometimes doing this kind of stuff, because 1 minute you're talking, next minute you can't barely it's kind of hard to focus on something while talking. It's kind of like double tasking, or whatever the hell it's called. But anyway, I'm actually now going to show you... Hold on. I'm actually going to make a new program called DW13, big surprise. And actually going to use some of the code I've actually shown you now. Now, let's see here. Print. Looking as usual. Again, if you're new to my channel... Actually, I'm tired of explaining stuff. If you're new to my channel, then you're new to my channel. Get used to it. You'll probably... Usually I end up explaining something after I'm done, well, doing it. If turtle... This will all be explained about what it does in a minute. Get... capital fuel... Also... sorry. Also... if it feels like any of this was rushed, I'm sorry, I'm a very fast talker when it comes to time, so that can kind of be a bit of a problem with me. So, I apologize if it feels like my mouth is literally going 10 miles an hour or whatever, or however your imagination likes to behold on that. Let's see here. Refuel. Yep. Remember how I said this program's going to be useful? Or, yeah, not program. Code is going to be useful. You can see right now. Print. Getting fuel. And what else? Oh, ironic. Else. I had to write else. What else? I have to write else. No fuel needed. And then finally, end. Alright. Now, just quickly do this. Now for this bit, I'm actually going to put a bit of fuel in. Actually, before we go any further, because this is actually quite important, Lua, turtle, because I'm kind of going to need to know this in order for this not to, well, how do I put this nicely? Not screw up. Level. Oh dear God. That's one way of looking at it. Exit. Change of plans. Oh. Change this number. Actually, change it to that. Perfect. Alright. Now, if I end up typing, hold on, DW13, it ends up coming with looking for fuel, getting fuel. Oh. So literally, and as you notice, there was 3 bits of coal in there. Now there's only 2. It ends up taking... So basically what it does is it literally says it's looking for fuel, albeit, and then it gets the fuel. But that's not all this program actually does. Keep doing it. Oh, gonna need to put more. Just put it all in there. Getting fuel, getting fuel, getting fuel, getting fuel. There we go, finally. No fuel needed. Now, if we end up going back to... Oh dear God, how many times did I press it? Oh. Wait. My God, my brain is all over the place today. Turtle dot... get... fuel... level... Oh, yep. 6,000. Now, hold on. Exit. Now, basically, I'm actually going to explain... There we go. I'm actually going to explain what this does. So basically, it kept on saying that it was going to keep on getting fuel. It kept on taking one bit of fuel each time, until eventually it finally reached a point where it ended up going over 6,000. Now, this is actually a code where a program which we've made it so it keeps on getting fuel for it, and it ends up making it so it can't go any further. So if there's a point where you don't want to get too much fuel, so to speak, this is kind of the program for you. Now, I'm actually going to get rid of all of this. Now, this is actually all the code that the guy in the video ended up showing me that was, well, useful. They were probably thinking, oh, DW, does that mean the episode has ended? No. Because, seeing that, for God knows how many years I've been doing this, I've actually picked up a couple things. Hold on, pick up. I did not mean to make that joke. Anyway. I've actually decided to make my own little program instead of just doing the program that usually the guy who usually I watch and I say to blah blah blah. You know what I mean. To show you all that that you don't need to, what's the word I'm looking for here? You don't really need to just copy whatever you see. You just need a bit of creativity, and you can make loads of different types of programs. Now, hold on. Some of this you may notice to be a bit familiar. But I have actually changed it a bit. Hold on. Move forward. Forward and pick up. And just so we're clear, for once this is actually a program I've made by myself. I actually haven't copied someone. Although nothing wrong with that, I guess. I wouldn't call it copying. I'd more just call it I guess I call it not completely. I'm just gonna end my sentence here. I don't know where I'm going with this actually. Sorry. For dot and pick up. Now, usually, and I'm going to say this like I say in most of my videos, with local, you can actually name this anything you want. There is a reason I've called it pick up, though. It sounds like something usually someone would say to someone on the phone. Pick up! It's not the best naming, DW. Turtle.suck. Again, this is actually code that I've used a long time ago, but I'm actually bringing it back for this little demonstration. In a way, I'm just the main reason I'm doing this is just to show that with a bit of like I've said before, with a bit of creativity, hold on, you can actually go a long way. Or better yet, you can actually make any program you would like. Now, for this bit, I'm actually going to need to do this. And now, for those that have been actually wondering what these two are for, you'll find out in a second. Okay. Right. Alright. Now, before I go any further, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to tell it. So if I end up running this program, it right now asks. Oh, it right now asks us how many do you actually want to move forward and pick up. Now, if I end up saying, I'm going to say 5. What? Why did? What the hell? Maybe it slipped past it or something? What the hell? That's a bit odd. Anyway, so what? Why didn't you pick up this? Oh, whatever. Anyway, so now you've actually noticed that it ended up moving 5 blocks forward, and it ended up picking up anything in its path. So basically, that's what this program actually does. It makes it so it ends up moving however much forward you like it to do, which by the way, just to be clear, mostly happens in my videos with those kind of programs. But it actually picks up whatever's in front of it. So that's actually very useful for you if you're too lazy to just walk over there. You can just tell this guy to go do it. But also, I'm going to tell it to pick up the rest of this. 4 blocks. Okay. And it ends up picking up the... That is odd. It ends up picking up all the daisies. I do not... As you can see, I had 64. It picked up that many. I'm surprised it didn't pick up this. Let me do something here. And now... Wait. Go back... 9. Oh, for goodness sake. Boop. And now move 9. So now if it keeps moving... Oh, now you pick it. Maybe it didn't have much... What? Maybe it only stores things in these 2 spaces? I don't know why it didn't pick up the cactuses in the first place. That's a bit odd. Oh well, c'est la vie. But that's actually all the code I actually have to show you guys for today, including the code that I actually made by myself for once. So yeah, I hope you'll enjoy. Make subscribe. Make sure to leave a like. If you felt like the way I explained it was a bit complicated, make sure to check out the new guy I'm actually watching in order to find out this type of code. Or everything in the game, so to speak, or in the mod, so to speak. Make sure to check him out. If you want to support this channel, make sure to send this to your friends, your cats, or your goldfish. But, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.